Good day, sir and students. I am Maria Mica Rose Pilumagbas from BSED 1A. And the study that we choose is the role of cognitive linguistic in developing students' communicative competence and forming their linguistic personalities. Abstract of the study is the study examined the specific of cognitive linguistics regarding developing communicative competence and forming student linguistic personalities. Attention is paid to the essence of the cognitive linguistic, the history of emergence of the direction and the current state of research. The study aims to reveal the role of cognitive linguistics in developing communicative competence and forming student linguistic personalities. So based on the study, linguistic personalities and communicative competence are among the key concept or key factor in organizing the educational process in higher institution to shape students' linguistic personality and develop communicative competence. Key findings of the study is cognitive linguistic, communicative competence, types of students' thinking. The first is cognitive linguistic. Learning cognitive linguistic has a positive influence to us students to gain knowledge and self-aware. It can help us to develop our language and the task of a student to solve problems professionally or correctly and demonstrated professionally knowledge. To better understand the cognitive linguistic, it is often referred to as situational as it involves selecting real-life situation. The next is communicative competence. Here in communicative competence, it is ability to communicate effectively in a different context. It also learning a foreign language involves practical adherence and basic use of practical language in a specific situation. And the types of student thinking, there are 5 types of student thinking. The first is professional thinking, abstract thinking, system thinking, critical thinking, and fast thinking. The first is professional thinking. It involves the ability of students to apply or acquire knowledge in a practical situation after completing their educational institution. Abstract thinking Abstract thinking, such as text often used in advertising, understanding this origin allows us to clear comprehension of a specific mechanism. The next is system thinking. It is important when working in scientific and technical texts. It offers the target audience to a better understanding of a particular event by reducing the cause and effect. The next is critical thinking. Critical thinking, the expert must present something that immediately prove the importance of things without the expert bias. The last of types of student thinking is the fast thinking. For example, if a if a student communicate a native speaker on a real time or via video, they need to quickly process the information to effectively communicate to the target audience. The next the next presenter is Miss Delojo by discussing the recommendation.
Hello everyone, I'm Idinita Daloho, and here are the recommendations in our research about the role of cognitive linguistics and developing students' community competence and forming their linguistic personality. The first recommendation is the presenting students with real-life situations. This is the most popular method of the cognitive approach in working with the students. In this recommendation, the students will be given a problem to solve. For example, a math teacher give a problem solving and the students have to answer it correctly. Second recommendation is the implementing the case method, which involves the following sequence stage. The first stage is formulating a problem, situation, and analyzing it. The second is dividing students into small groups and having a brainstorming session. Third, the presentation of the option to solve the case publicly. In this stage, this is the most crucial stage of forming students' communicative competence where they require to present their vision of solving problem. During this stage, students not only engage in various types of thinking, but also develop speaking skills, learn to defend their own opinion, and objectively evaluate criticism. The example is debate, where they can defend their own opinion in such topic. And the last stage is the group discussion of effective ways to resolve an issue. The recommendation is the familiarization with its components will allow the students to quickly and easily acquire information about the cognitive components and understand the basics of creating certain words. Here are the three components. First component is the figurative component. Includes perceptual aspects and cognitive aspects. Such images are common and familiar to students. Which, with the help of images, they will be familiar with a certain object or topic. For example, we show an animal image to a kids and they will figure it out what kind of animals it is if they are familiar with it. Second component is the information content, involves the characteristics of the concept that reflect the difference between one phenomenon and another. They will be familiar with the words or topics because of the information within. For example, we can be familiar with the news for what is the information within. The third component is the interpretation field. Involves the transformation of the meaning of one phenomenon to another. In other words, it generalizes the acquired knowledge about the particular component. Sometimes we have different interpretation on what we hear or read. For example, in a song we listen or a books we read. These recommendations are applied in teaching from elementary to college. And Miss Charmin Bantog will represent the reflection. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I'm Charmaine Ibantog from the SED A1, so I'm gonna tell you all the reflection of our study. The study highlights a significant role of cognitive linguistics in enhancing student language abilities by focusing on mental processes that underpin language use. By exploring concepts such as conceptual metaphors, mental spaces, and frame semantics, cognitive linguistics provides students with a deeper understanding of how language functions in different contexts. This knowledge helps students recognize and apply various linguistic structure and meaning more effectively, making them more versatile communicators. Furthermore, the insight gained from cognitive linguistics empowers students to adapt their language use to diverse situations with greater ease. Understanding how cognitive frameworks influence language comprehensions allows students to better tailor their communication strategies to fit specific contexts, improving their overall effectiveness. As a result, cognitive linguistics not only enriches students' grasp of language but also enhances their ability to engage more meaningful and appropriately in various communicative scenarios.